Stop wasting your energy proving yourself to the world. Every loud action, every desperate attempt to be seen, is draining your power. The most successful people don't shout. They don't need validation. They act. They build. They achieve, quietly, consistently, relentlessly. Today you're going to learn exactly how to harness silence, focus, and unstoppable discipline to create massive results while the rest of the world is busy chasing applause. Chapter 1. Stop proving and start doing. Most people live their lives seeking attention instead of producing results. They chase applause. They chase likes. They chase recognition. They are addicted to proving themselves to everyone else, and the world rarely rewards the loudest voice. The world rewards results. Quiet results. Real achievements. Not the noise around them. And this is the first truth you must understand. Doing silently is more powerful than speaking loudly. You have a choice. You can spend your energy trying to impress others. Or you can spend your energy building, creating, achieving. That's the key. The world doesn't care about your explanations. It doesn't care about your announcements. It cares about the results you deliver. And the people who achieve the most? They prove nothing. They announce nothing. They simply do. Take Elon Musk, for example. The world sees him as a public figure now, but long before the fame, he worked silently. Hundreds of hours a week, buried in code, buried in engineering problems, buried in production schedules. Nobody knew. Nobody applauded. He didn't wait for permission. He didn't need approval. He did. That's the pattern. That's the formula. That's the first step toward a silent mind and massive achievement. Warren Buffett, another example, built an empire without flashy presentations, without a public relations machine, without bragging about his wins. Quiet diligence. Consistency. Compounding over decades. No one celebrated his process. Everyone noticed his results. This is the difference between those who talk and those who act. Do. Don't announce. Do. Don't announce. Look around you. How many people do you see shouting their intentions while accomplishing nothing? Too many. They post, they declare, they signal their ambition, and yet, nothing changes. You don't want to be that person. You have a choice. You can be the one who talks, or you can be the one who does. You don't need their permission. You don't need their applause. You just need your discipline, your focus, your silent consistency. That's how you move ahead while everyone else is busy chasing attention. So what does doing silently look like in your life? It looks like acting without announcing. It looks like building skills quietly while others brag about potential. It looks like executing daily invisible habits while the crowd is distracted by noise. You don't post every achievement online. You don't tell your coworkers about every idea. You don't explain your every move. You do. You execute. You deliver. That is the key. That is where power lies. Here's a practical rule. Every time you feel the urge to announce, pause. Ask yourself, will this action produce results, or just attention? If it's attention, stop. If it's results, act silently. That's the line between those who achieve and those who entertain. You have a choice. Do. Don't announce. Do. Don't announce. Repeat it until it becomes instinct. Because the habit of silent action compounds faster than any self-promotion. Discipline compounds. Focus compounds. Work compounds. Noise dissipates. Results accumulate. Think about your goals. Now, imagine achieving them without anyone noticing until the day you succeed. That's the power of silent action. It's not about the likes, the praise, or the recognition. It's about the work. It's about your discipline. It's about your results. Stop trying to prove yourself. Stop shouting to be seen. Stop performing for an audience that doesn't matter. The only audience that matters is your future self. The only approval that matters is your own. You have a choice. You have control. That's the key. And here's a truth most people ignore. The more you announce, the weaker your power becomes. Every time you seek validation, you hand over your energy to others. Every time you explain yourself, you dilute your focus. Every time you shout, you reveal weakness, not strength. Real power is invisible. Real strength is quiet. Real achievement is silent. This is what separates those who succeed massively from those who simply pretend to succeed. Do. Don't announce. That's the mantra. Now let's break it down into practical steps. Identify your noise triggers. Notice when you feel the need to brag, explain, or show off. Each trigger is a chance to choose action instead. Commit to silent habits. Work on your skills, your craft, your projects, without posting, talking, or seeking approval. Let results speak. Measure results, not reactions. Your success isn't determined by applause. It's determined by progress, output, and real impact. Track it. Own it. Celebrate it internally, quietly. Repeat this consistently. Repeat it daily. Repeat it relentlessly. Because action compounds while noise dissipates. Discipline compounds while validation seeking erodes. Skills compound while explanations fade. You have a choice. You can follow the crowd. Or you can act silently and win massively. That's the key. That's your leverage. That's the first building block of the silent mind. Let's be clear, this is not about being antisocial. It's not about hiding your work forever. It's about building in the shadows until your results are undeniable. Then the world notices. Then opportunities come. Then influence follows, not because you shouted, but because you delivered. Quiet action is a superpower most people never understand. You have a choice. You don't need their permission. You don't need their applause. You just need your work, your focus, your discipline. That's the power. That's the key. Finally, remember the phrase, do. Don't announce. Do. Don't announce. Repeat it. Live it. Breathe it. Let it guide your decisions. Let it be the filter for every action you take. Every time you feel the urge to show off, pause. Ask yourself, will this move me closer to results or just attention? Choose action. Choose discipline. Choose silent achievement. That is the path. That is the formula. That is how you master the first step toward a silent mind and massive achievement. You mastered the art of silent action. You now understand the power of doing without announcing. The first layer of discipline is in place. The foundation is built. And now, as we turn the page, it's time to strengthen the control over your mind itself. You mastered your action. Now, let's talk about the true currency of your life. Chapter 2: The Power of Invisible Discipline. Discipline is invisible. Most people don't see it. Most people underestimate it. Yet it is the single most powerful tool separating those who achieve massively from those who only dream. Discipline quietly compounds. Discipline quietly compounds. Discipline quietly compounds. That's the key. The results are not immediate, but over time, they become unstoppable. Quiet routines. Hidden effort. Massive outcomes. That is the power of invisible discipline. You have a choice. You can rely on motivation, inspiration, or willpower in the moment. Or you can build systems, habits, and routines that work for you even when motivation fades. That's the key. Discipline doesn't ask for attention. It doesn't need applause. It silently strengthens you day after day, week after week, year after year. This is where the silent mind finds its power. You don't need their permission. You don't need recognition. You need consistency. You need repetition. You need invisible discipline. Let's start with morning routines. The first hour of your day sets the tone for everything else. Those who succeed don't scroll social media. They don't react to notifications. They plan. They move. They prepare. Elon Musk starts his days with precise planning, scheduling tasks in 6-minute blocks. Warren Buffett reads, reflects, and prepares mentally before acting. You have a choice. How will you start your day? With noise or with discipline? Discipline quietly compounds. Discipline quietly compounds. Discipline quietly compounds. That's the difference between action and chaos. Daily planning is next. Most people drift through their day, reacting to distractions, putting out fires, responding to requests. Discipline means taking control. It means knowing what matters, what moves you forward, and what is irrelevant. Make a list. Prioritize ruthlessly. Block time for the work that counts. Protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. You have a choice. You can let your day be hijacked, or you can command it. That's the key. This is invisible discipline. You don't need their permission. You just need your calendar, your focus, your relentless commitment. Follow-through is where the invisible becomes visible. Habits alone are not enough. You must execute. You must finish. You must deliver. It's not about showing off. It's about completing what others abandon halfway. Look at the world around you. Most people start projects. Most people abandon them. Discipline finishes them. Discipline quietly compounds. Discipline quietly compounds. Discipline quietly compounds. That is how you build a life that others notice without you ever announcing it. Consider real-world examples. Michael Jordan practiced shots hundreds of times before anyone saw the result. Serena Williams trains before dawn, long before the stadium lights shine. These are invisible actions that build unstoppable outcomes. Nobody witnessed the thousands of hours. Nobody applauded the repetition. And yet, the results are undeniable. Quiet effort beats loud excuses. Consistency beats sudden bursts of motivation. Discipline beats distraction every single time. You have a choice. You can follow the crowd and seek recognition for minimal effort, or you can follow the path of invisible discipline. This path is not glamorous. It is not social media worthy. It doesn't come with immediate praise, but it compounds. It builds power silently. Your results, your clarity, your control, they all grow quietly and eventually explosively. That's the key. Discipline quietly compounds. Discipline quietly compounds. Discipline quietly compounds. Now, let's talk about practical implementation. Step 1. Identify the areas in your life where invisible discipline will matter most. Your health. Your skills. Your craft. Step 2. Build micro-routines that are simple, repeatable, and non-negotiable. Step 3. Track your progress privately. Measure effort, consistency, and completion, not applause or external approval. Step 4. Guard your time like a fortress. Eliminate distractions. Remove noise. Discipline quietly compounds. Discipline quietly compounds. Discipline quietly compounds. It's not about perfection. It's not about grand gestures. It's about persistence. It's about showing up, even when no one is watching. It's about doing what others won't. That's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. You have a choice. You can be ordinary, or you can be unstoppable. That's the key. Invisible discipline is not about impressing anyone. It's about becoming unshakable. It's about building a foundation that supports massive achievement. You don't need their permission. You don't need applause. You need commitment. You need action. You need invisible discipline. Here's another layer: momentum. Invisible discipline builds momentum. Every small, consistent action adds up. Each habit stacks on the last. Your focus compounds. Your skill compounds. Your results compound. This is not theory, it is reality. You have a choice. You can stop, start, and stop again, or you can commit to consistency. You can chase recognition, or you can chase results. That's the key. Discipline quietly compounds. Discipline quietly compounds. Discipline quietly compounds. Remember, distraction is everywhere. People will try to pull your attention, your energy, your focus. Social media, opinions, comparisons, notifications, noise. Discipline protects you from all of it. Discipline is your armor. Discipline builds silently while others falter publicly. You have a choice. You can succumb to chaos, or you can build quietly, relentlessly, invisibly. That's the key. You don't need their permission. You don't need approval. You need consistency. You need invisible discipline. Finally, internalize this truth. The world rewards results, not excuses. The world rewards action, not promises. Invisible discipline creates unstoppable results. Quiet action compounds into massive achievement. Small, unseen actions today lead to monumental success tomorrow. You have a choice. You can wait for inspiration, or you can create it with your discipline. That's the key. Discipline quietly compounds. Discipline quietly compounds. Discipline quietly compounds. You mastered the art of building without noise. You now understand that results are not immediate, they are exponential. You now see that discipline is invisible, but its impact is undeniable. You built the foundation for a powerful, silent life. And now, as we continue, it's time to apply this discipline to produce results that speak for themselves. You mastered discipline. Now, let's see how to let your results speak. Chapter 3. Let results speak. Stop explaining. Stop defending. Stop justifying yourself. The world doesn't care about your excuses. The world doesn't care about your intentions. The world only notices results. That is the first truth you must understand. Your work is louder than your words. Your work speaks. Your achievements speak. Your discipline speaks. Not your announcements. Not your promises. Not your arguments. Your work is louder than your words. Your work is louder than your words. Your work is louder than your words. That's the key. You have a choice. You can spend your life defending your ideas. You can argue with critics. You can explain every decision. Or you can act. You can produce. You can deliver. That's the key. Results create authority. Results build credibility. Results earn respect. Words alone create nothing. You don't need their permission. You don't need applause. You need action. You need completion. You need results that speak. Take artists, for example. Picasso didn't spend his life explaining every painting. He painted. The work spoke. It commanded attention. It shaped culture. Nobody asked him for explanations. Nobody applauded the drafts. They noticed the finished masterpieces. That is the power of letting results speak. Do you see the difference? Talking loudly draws eyes temporarily. Delivering results draws respect permanently. Your work is louder than your words. Your work is louder than your words. Entrepreneurs operate the same way. Jeff Bezos didn't announce every idea. He didn't justify every decision. He built Amazon quietly, brick by brick, step by step, year by year. Results accumulated while others debated. Actions created credibility. Actions created momentum. The company grew. Investors noticed. Competitors feared. That is the outcome of silent achievement. You have a choice. You can spend time explaining, or you can spend time executing. That's the key. Athletes are no different. Michael Jordan didn't explain his training. He practiced shots hundreds of times before anyone saw the result. Serena Williams trained long before dawn, away from cameras and attention. These invisible hours produced visible dominance. Discipline compounded. Skill multiplied. Achievement spoke louder than any words ever could. You have a choice. You can argue with critics, or you can let your performance make the argument for you. That's the key. Now, let's break down practical ways to let results speak in your life. Stop defending every choice. Not every opinion needs your explanation. Focus on executing what matters. Your results will communicate your competence more powerfully than words ever can. Deliver consistently. Habits, routines, and repeated action build credibility over time. Show up. Finish what you start. Deliver results quietly, relentlessly, and without seeking applause. Measure results, not reactions. Your success is not measured by likes, compliments, or approval. It's measured by progress, completion, and tangible outcomes. Focus on what you control, your output. You have a choice. You can chase validation, approval, and recognition. Or you can chase excellence. You can chase attention, or you can chase results. That's the key. Your work is louder than your words. Your work is louder than your words. Your work is louder than your words. Repeat it until it becomes instinct. Repeat it until it defines your actions. Repeat it until results become your signature. Think about your environment. How many people spend more time talking about what they plan to do than actually doing it? Too many. They explain, defend, justify, and perform for an audience that doesn't matter. Meanwhile, the real achievers work quietly. They let their results build a reputation. They let their actions accumulate influence. They let their achievements speak. That is the power of silent execution. You have a choice. You can be the one who talks, or you can be the one who delivers. That's the key. Here's another layer. Actions build trust automatically. When you deliver consistently, people start to rely on you without a word. Leaders trust you. Clients respect you. Teams follow you. Influence grows naturally. Words cannot replace the credibility that results generate. You don't need their permission. You don't need to explain. You just need to execute. You just need to deliver. You just need to produce outcomes that speak louder than your explanations. Your work is louder than your words. Now, consider this truth. Most failures happen because people explain more than they act. They spend energy defending themselves instead of producing. They spend time justifying instead of finishing. They spend effort on perception instead of reality. Don't fall into this trap. Action compounds. Momentum grows. Respect is earned. Results dominate. You have a choice. You can be distracted by talking, or you can be focused on doing. That's the key. Your work is louder than your words. Your work is louder than your words. Your work is louder than your words. Let's add practical implementation strategies. Prioritize execution over explanation. Each day, pick one task that produces a measurable outcome and complete it fully. Avoid unnecessary defense. Only respond when action or outcome requires it. Silence often carries more weight than argument. Record your progress privately. Track your results. Celebrate quietly. Let the external world see the impact later. The principle is simple. Results override perception. People forget explanations. People forget promises. People remember what actually happened. What was built. What was finished. What was delivered. Results speak the truth louder than any justification ever will. You have a choice. You can argue endlessly, or you can deliver effectively. That's the key. Your work is louder than your words. Finally, internalize this. The louder you shout, the weaker your influence becomes. The quieter you act, the stronger your impact. The less you explain, the more power you gain. Let your results be undeniable. Let your outcomes demonstrate your value. Let your discipline, focus, and execution speak for you. You have a choice. You don't need approval. You don't need applause. You just need results. That's the key. Your work is louder than your words. Your work is louder than your words. Your work is louder than your words. You mastered the art of letting your actions speak. You now understand that words without results are meaningless. You now see that true influence is earned silently through achievement. And now, as we continue, it's time to control not just what you produce, but how you manage yourself under pressure. You mastered results. Now, let's talk about mastering your emotions. Chapter 4. Master your emotions, not your audience. Your emotions are yours, not theirs. Not the crowd's. Not your competitors. Emotional control is the foundation of quiet power. It separates those who are reactive from those who are unstoppable. When you react publicly, you give away your influence. You lose clarity. You lose momentum. You lose authority. That is the first truth you must understand. Control yourself first. Control yourself first. Control yourself first. That's the key. You have a choice. You can let every insult, every critique, every unexpected event dictate your mood. Or you can pause. You can process. You can respond deliberately. That's the key. Emotional mastery is not about suppressing feelings. It's about channeling them into power. You don't need their permission. You don't need their approval. You need your composure. You need control. You need emotional mastery. Think about the world around you. How many people explode under pressure? How many lose influence because they couldn't manage a simple reaction? CEOs crash deals. Leaders alienate teams. Talented individuals sabotage opportunities, all because they fail to control their emotions. You have a choice. You can join them, or you can rise above. That's the key. Control yourself first. Control yourself first. Control yourself first. Let's look at techniques that make this real. Mindfulness. Observe your thoughts without judgment. Notice your triggers. When anger rises, don't react instantly. Breathe. Reflect. Decide your response intentionally. You have a choice. You can let emotions hijack you, or you can master them. That's the key. Delayed responses. Never reply in the heat of the moment. Pause. Wait. Think. Respond with clarity. History is full of leaders who avoided rash actions and benefited from patience. You don't need to react immediately. You don't need validation from anyone. Your composure is your power. Control yourself first. Mental rehearsal under stress. Anticipate challenges. Visualize scenarios that could trigger fear, anger, or frustration. Practice responding calmly. Elite athletes, military leaders, and top executives rehearse mentally. They are prepared when chaos arrives. You have a choice. You can be caught off guard, or you can act with precision. That's the key. Real-world examples make this undeniable. Barack Obama faced intense scrutiny under constant pressure. Yet he rarely lost composure publicly. His calm responses amplified authority and influence. Warren Buffett navigates market panic without emotion. During crashes, he invests when others flee. Emotional control converts fear into opportunity. Serena Williams practices mental focus before critical matches. Even under intense pressure, she stays composed. Discipline wins over reaction. You have a choice. You can let the world dictate your mood, or you can dictate your response. You can lose control, or you can command it. That's the key. Control yourself first. Control yourself first. Control yourself first. Now, let's break down practical steps to implement this. Identify triggers. Keep a journal of moments where you reacted poorly. Recognize patterns. Awareness is the first step toward mastery. Use the pause. Force yourself to wait at least 5 seconds before reacting. Even a short pause can prevent regretful decisions. Channel energy. Convert emotional intensity into productive action. Anger can motivate. Anxiety can sharpen focus. Frustration can fuel creativity. You have a choice. You can waste it, or you can redirect it. That's the key. Remember, the world rewards calm under pressure. Reactivity costs opportunities, respect, and influence. Emotional control builds trust. It builds authority. It builds a presence others respect without needing words. You don't need their approval. You don't need to prove anything. You just need self-mastery. Control yourself first. Control yourself first. Control yourself first. Here's a deeper insight. Public reactions are illusions of power. People who shout, argue, and panic seem strong temporarily, but their influence fades. People remember composure. They remember reliability. They remember discipline. Emotional mastery is silent. It is subtle. It is lasting. You have a choice. You can chase the illusion, or you can command reality. That's the key. Another layer. Stress is inevitable. Reaction is optional. Life will test you. Chaos will appear. Competitors will provoke. Colleagues will challenge. The difference between winners and others is not the absence of stress, it is the mastery of response. You have a choice. You can react, or you can respond with discipline. Control yourself first. That's the key. Practical application in daily life. Before meetings or presentations, take a few deep breaths. Visualize success. Focus on what you can control. During conflicts, listen first. Assess second. Speak deliberately. Let the content of your message, not your emotion, carry weight. Daily reflection. Review moments of emotional success or failure. Learn. Adjust. Strengthen. Emotional mastery compounds over time, just like discipline. Finally, internalize this truth. The quiet mind controls the loud world. Emotional control is not passive, it is strategic. The calmer you remain, the more influence you command. The more composed you are, the clearer your decisions. The stronger your presence. You have a choice. You can be reactive, or you can be unstoppable. That's the key. Control yourself first. Control yourself first. Control yourself first. You mastered self-control in the private sphere. You now understand that influence is not about outward displays, it's about inner mastery. You now see that composure under pressure is a silent superpower. And now, as we continue, it's time to recognize the hidden costs of seeking approval from others. You mastered your emotions. Now, let's talk about validation and its silent drain. Chapter 5. The silent cost of seeking validation. Validation is a trap. Validation is a trap. Validation is a trap. If you live seeking approval, recognition, or praise, you will drain your energy. You will waste time. You will sacrifice clarity. Every moment spent chasing someone else's approval is a moment taken from your progress. That is the first truth you must understand. You don't need their permission. You don't need their applause. You don't need their recognition. You need focus. You need autonomy. You need results that matter to you, not to them. You have a choice. You can live reacting to likes, comments, and compliments. Or you can live for your own standards. That's the key. The world is full of distractions disguised as approval. Social media notifications. Praise from peers. Corporate recognition. Each one tempts you to act for external validation rather than internal progress. You don't need to feed the need for approval. You don't need to impress anyone. You need self-direction. You need invisible discipline. You need focus. Look around. How many people are addicted to approval? Social media influencers craft every post to be liked, shared, and commented on. Executives play politics to be praised by superiors. Talented individuals stop innovating because they fear judgment. Validation is a trap. Validation is a trap. Validation is a trap. That's the key. When your focus shifts to others' approval, your growth halts. Your clarity dims. Your power fades. You have a choice. You can remain a prisoner of praise, or you can reclaim your autonomy. Consider real-world examples. Corporate politics. Employees spend hours persuading managers and colleagues instead of producing results. The ones who obsess over recognition often burn out or plateau. Meanwhile, the quietly disciplined rise. They focus on value, not applause. They build influence silently. Social media influencers. Many create content not for impact, but for likes and follows. Their work becomes shallow. Their energy is consumed by metrics instead of mastery. Discipline and depth are sacrificed for temporary validation. Approval-addicted leaders. Leaders who constantly seek affirmation make reactive decisions. They lose credibility. They compromise their principles. Results suffer. Those who act decisively, regardless of external praise, create long-term impact. You have a choice. You can let others dictate your self-worth, or you can define it yourself. That's the key. Stop explaining, stop performing for applause, and start producing value that matters. Validation is a trap. Validation is a trap. Validation is a trap. Repeat it until it becomes instinct. Repeat it until it defines your priorities. Repeat it until you act for purpose, not approval. Let's break this down practically. Audit your attention. Track where you spend your time. Are you creating for impact or for recognition? Identify moments when validation hijacks your energy. Redirect focus to meaningful action. Limit social comparison. Social media and public forums amplify the desire for approval. Reduce exposure. Filter out noise. Protect your focus. Validation is a trap. Set private standards. Define success internally. Measure progress by completion, skill growth, and consistency, not applause or recognition. You have a choice. You can chase the crowd, or you can chase results. That's the key. Here's another insight. Validation creates invisible costs. Energy lost in seeking praise cannot be regained. Time spent performing for others delays mastery. Clarity fades when focus shifts outward. All three reduce your ability to achieve silently. All three undermine invisible discipline. You have a choice. You can sacrifice your power for fleeting applause, or you can commit to internal standards and long-term results. That's the key. Validation is a trap. Validation is a trap. Validation is a trap. Now consider behavioral strategies to escape this trap. Pause before seeking approval. Before sharing, posting, or presenting, ask yourself, am I doing this for results or for recognition? Act only for results. Celebrate privately. Track achievements internally. Reflect on progress quietly. Let the impact reveal itself externally over time. Detach self-worth from feedback. Recognize that praise or criticism does not define you. Discipline and execution define you. You have a choice. You can attach your value to external applause, or you can anchor it internally. That's the key. Validation is seductive because it is instant. Results are delayed. Attention is fleeting. Mastery compounds. Influence grows silently. Choose the path of delayed gratification, quiet effort, and internal standards. That is invisible discipline in action. That is the choice of the unstoppable. You have a choice. You can live for applause, or you can live for mastery. That's the key. Real-world reinforcement. Look at innovators who ignored criticism and praise. Elon Musk faced ridicule for years. Yet he focused on product and execution. Today, results speak louder than words. J.K. Rowling was rejected multiple times. She did not seek approval, she focused on craft. Her results transformed literature. Top athletes train alone, unseen. They don't perform for praise, they perform for skill. The awards and recognition come later. You have a choice. You can let the noise of approval steal your focus, or you can reclaim it. You don't need validation. You don't need applause. You need clarity. You need consistency. You need invisible discipline. Validation is a trap. Validation is a trap. Validation is a trap. Finally, internalize this. The less you seek approval, the more freedom you gain. The less you chase applause, the more power you cultivate. The less you explain yourself, the more results speak. Master this principle. Live for your standards. Act for impact. Let others react. You have a choice. You can chase recognition, or you can chase mastery. That's the key. You mastered the art of ignoring external validation. You now understand the hidden costs it imposes. You now see that energy, time, and clarity are precious resources. And now, as we continue, it's time to build habits in the shadows, where unseen consistency creates unstoppable results. You mastered the trap of approval. Now, let's talk about private habits that compound quietly. Chapter 6. Build habits in the shadows. True growth happens away from recognition. True mastery is forged in silence. Public praise is temporary. Distraction is everywhere. Habits formed privately lead to public results. That is the first truth you must understand. Small habits silently explode. Small habits silently explode. Small habits silently explode. That's the key. You have a choice. You can seek applause for every effort. Or you can work quietly, consistently, and invisibly. You don't need their recognition. You don't need their permission. You need your focus. You need your discipline. You need habits that compound silently into massive results. Small habits silently explode. That's the difference between temporary success and lasting achievement. Consider the world of elite performers. Athletes train for hours without cameras, without crowds, without praise. The repetitive grind, the private practice, creates excellence. Nobody applauds every push-up or every drill. Yet the results dominate the stadium. Entrepreneurs wake up early to plan, to write, to code, to strategize in solitude. They are not performing for likes or accolades. They are building foundations for empires. Years later, the results speak. Artists and writers practice daily, unseen, often without validation. The paintings, the novels, the compositions emerge only after countless private hours. Their public recognition is the consequence of invisible effort, not the cause. You have a choice. You can seek recognition now, or you can invest in invisible habits that pay massive dividends later. That's the key. Small habits silently explode. Small habits silently explode. Small habits silently explode. Let's break this down practically. Daily microhabits. Pick one small action you can repeat consistently every day. 30 minutes of focused learning. 30 minutes of writing. 30 minutes of training. These are the seeds. Alone, they seem insignificant. But repeated consistently, they compound into unstoppable growth. You have a choice. You can ignore them, or you can commit. That's the key. Invisible consistency. Discipline is not about spectacle. It's about showing up when no one is watching. It's about completing tasks without applause. Make it private. Make it habitual. Make it relentless. Small habits silently explode. You don't need permission. You don't need validation. You need repetition. You need discipline. Compounding improvement. Every habit stacks upon the last. Incremental growth multiplies. 1% improvement daily becomes massive over time. This is invisible compounding. You won't notice change immediately. Others won't either. But eventually, the impact is undeniable. Small habits silently explode. That's the key. Now, let's look at how to implement this in real life. Start with structure. Identify the critical habits that drive your results. Focus on health, skill, and discipline. Remove distractions. Create a daily routine that allows you to execute these privately. Track privately. Keep a journal. Measure consistency, completion, and quality, not applause or recognition. Progress compounds faster when it is tracked carefully. Guard your time. Eliminate unnecessary meetings, social media, and interruptions. Your private practice deserves protection. Small habits silently explode when shielded from noise. Think about it. Most people fail because they chase recognition instead of building silently. They want the spotlight before they've earned it. They want validation before mastery. They want applause before effort. Habits built for show rarely last. Habits built in the shadows endure forever. You have a choice. You can chase fleeting attention, or you can build lasting foundations. That's the key. Real-world reinforcement. Bill Gates read books and coded quietly for years before Microsoft became a giant. No one noticed the hours spent learning. No one applauded the silent effort. The results exploded publicly. Michael Phelps trained before dawn, alone in the pool. Nobody saw the thousands of laps. Nobody applauded his sweat. But the medals followed. Small habits silently explode. J.K. Rowling wrote in cafes, alone, without recognition. Her private work created one of the largest literary empires in history. Her habits compounded quietly, unseen, before fame arrived. You have a choice. You can act for applause, or you can act for impact. You can seek validation, or you can seek mastery. That's the key. Small habits silently explode. Small habits silently explode. Small habits silently explode. Here's another layer, the mental advantage of invisible habits. You develop resilience by doing work without external reinforcement. You strengthen focus by eliminating distraction and attention-seeking. You grow patience by understanding that results take time. This mental edge is invisible to the world, but it is unstoppable in action. Those who master private habits dominate publicly. You have a choice. You can chase attention, or you can build silently. That's the key. Finally, internalize this truth. Results are a byproduct of consistency, not spectacle. Growth is quiet, but its impact is explosive. Habits formed in the shadows compound into mastery, influence, and unshakable success. You don't need recognition. You don't need applause. You just need focus. You just need discipline. You just need the invisible grind. Small habits silently explode. Small habits silently explode. Small habits silently explode. You mastered the art of invisible effort. You now understand that visible action is nothing without hidden consistency. You now see that true power is cultivated quietly, away from the eyes of others. And now, as we continue, it's time to focus your mind with precision. You mastered habits in the shadows. Now, let's talk about focus like a laser. Chapter 7. Focus like a laser. Distraction is everywhere. Noise is constant. Multitasking is celebrated, but it kills achievement. The truth is simple: if you cannot focus, you cannot excel. Focus is the currency of results. That is the first truth you must understand. Focus. 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 That's the key. You have a choice. You can let notifications, emails, social media, and chatter fragment your attention. Or you can concentrate like a laser, shutting out everything that does not matter. You don't need their permission. You don't need applause. You need precision. You need clarity. You need focus. Focus is not an option. It is the difference between mediocrity and mastery. Look around. Most people are busy, but few are productive. They are doing, but not achieving. They are moving, but not progressing. Multitasking creates illusion, not results. Noise breeds chaos. Focus, on the other hand, amplifies effort. Focus multiplies skill. Focus compounds results. Focus. 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 Consider the world's top performers. Writers like Haruki Murakami block hours for writing in solitude. No distractions. No interruptions. Pure focus. The output is immense. Scientists like Marie Curie dedicated decades to study without public recognition. Her work changed the world. Focus made it possible. Entrepreneurs like Jeff Bezos isolate themselves to think deeply about strategy. He ignores the chatter, the competition, and the noise. His focus drives innovation and massive outcomes. You have a choice. You can follow the crowd, reacting to every alert, every trend, every opinion. Or you can control your attention, your most valuable resource. That's the key. Focus. 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 Let's break this down practically. Eliminate distractions. Identify what fragments your attention. Phone notifications. Emails. Social media. People who drain energy. Remove them during work blocks. Protect your focus like a fortress. You have a choice. You can succumb to noise, or you can command your environment. That's the key. Time blocking. Schedule deep work periods with a start and end time. During these blocks, commit to single tasking. One task. One goal. Full attention. The world can wait. Your focus cannot. Focus. 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 Mind training. Your mind will wander. That's natural. The key is to bring it back deliberately. Meditation, visualization, and journaling sharpen attention. Each time you return your mind to the task, you strengthen focus. That's the key. You have a choice. You can scatter your attention, or you can train it like a muscle. Focus. 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 Here's another truth. Attention is energy. Energy is power. Where your focus goes, your results follow. People who split their energy across too many tasks accomplish little. People who focus intensely on one task achieve extraordinary results. That is why the world rewards the laser-focused, not the busy. You have a choice. You can be busy, or you can be productive. That's the key. Focus. 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 Real-world application. Start with one priority. Each day, identify the single task that will create the biggest impact. Attack it with full attention. Ignore everything else. You have a choice. You can scatter yourself, or you can dominate one task. That's the key. Use isolation strategically. Create environments that minimize interruption. Noise-canceling headphones, quiet rooms, or scheduled solitude. Protect your attention as if your life depends on it, because it does. Batch-related tasks. Group similar tasks together to maintain mental momentum. Avoid context switching. Context switching kills efficiency. Focus strengthens efficiency. Focus. 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 Consider this. Distraction is everywhere, and most people have no defense. They allow their attention to be hijacked. They chase notifications, trends, and opinions. But you are not most people. You have a choice. You can follow the crowd into scattered mediocrity, or you can focus like a laser and achieve extraordinary results. That's the key. Focus is also about clarity of purpose. Know exactly what you want. Know exactly what matters. Anything outside that circle is noise. Ignore it. Focus. 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 Your energy is finite. Guard it. Invest it where it counts. Another layer, mental endurance. Laser focus is not a one-time act. It is a habit. The brain resists focus initially. You feel discomfort. That's normal. Push through. Build the habit of concentration. Over time, long periods of focus feel natural. Results become unstoppable. You have a choice. You can give in to distraction, or you can strengthen your attention. That's the key. Focus. 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 Examples of compounding focus. Warren Buffett reads for hours daily, absorbing knowledge while others chase news and gossip. His focus compounds into unmatched investment wisdom. Elon Musk engineers, codes, and solves complex problems without distraction. Years of uninterrupted focus yield groundbreaking results. Artists and composers spend days perfecting work in solitude, unseen, unheard. The output amazes the world later. You have a choice. You can be reactive, scattered, and noisy. Or you can concentrate, deliberate, and silent. That's the key. Focus is not optional. It is essential. Protect it. Strengthen it. Multiply it. Focus. 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 Finally, internalize this. Achievement comes to those who protect their attention like gold. Results compound when focus is sustained. Noise diminishes progress. Multitasking destroys mastery. Focus like a laser, and you will achieve what most cannot even imagine. You have a choice. You can drift with distraction, or you can dominate with attention. That's the key. You mastered private habits. You now understand that invisible effort compounds only when paired with deep focus. You now see that distraction is the enemy of massive achievement. And now, as we continue, it's time to ignore the noise and multiply your power. You mastered focus. Now, let's talk about amplifying your impact while ignoring distractions. Chapter 8. Ignore the noise. Multiply your power. The world is loud. Opinions, commentary, and criticism flood every corner of life. Social media, news, colleagues, competitors, they all demand your attention. Most people respond. Most people react. Most people lose focus. The truth is simple: noise kills results. That is the first truth you must understand. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. That's the key. You have a choice. You can react to every comment, every trend, every critique. Or you can protect your attention like the most valuable resource it is. You don't need their permission. You don't need validation. You need clarity. You need energy. You need undisturbed focus. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. That's how power grows silently. That's how influence multiplies. Consider the world of top performers. CEOs like Steve Jobs ignored critics while building revolutionary products. He focused on his vision, not the chatter. The noise was irrelevant. The results were undeniable. Entrepreneurs like Elon Musk face endless skepticism. Yet he ignores short-term opinions to innovate on a massive scale. The critics talk, the focused act. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. Athletes and artists train and create in solitude. Public opinions cannot sway them. Their results emerge quietly, but powerfully. You have a choice. You can allow the noise to distract, frustrate, and derail you. Or you can multiply your power by ignoring it. That's the key. Every moment spent reacting is a moment stolen from your growth. Every attention diverted weakens your influence. Protect your energy. Guard your focus. Multiply your power silently. Let's break this down practically. Filter inputs. Identify sources of noise that drain energy without adding value. Limit social media. Ignore unnecessary commentary, and disengage from gossip. Attention is finite. Protect it fiercely. You have a choice. You can feed distraction, or you can invest in results. That's the key. Focus on your sphere of control. What can you directly impact? Work there. Everything else is noise. Stop reacting to what you cannot change. Your energy is a weapon. Direct it intentionally. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. Create boundaries. Set times for reading emails, checking news, and engaging socially. Outside those windows, focus solely on meaningful work. Boundaries multiply results. That's the key. You have a choice. You can drift in chaos, or you can command your time. Here's another truth. Most people confuse activity with progress. Responding to every opinion feels productive, but it's not. Growth requires selective attention. Power grows where focus is uninterrupted. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. That is how you multiply influence quietly. Real-world reinforcement. Jeff Bezos ignored Wall Street chatter for years, focusing instead on customer experience. Amazon grew exponentially while critics doubted every move. Mark Zuckerberg ignored early criticism and skepticism, building Facebook into a global phenomenon. He ignored the noise and multiplied his impact. Entrepreneurs and inventors who obsess over competitors often fail. Those who focus on execution and innovation dominate silently. You have a choice. You can be reactive, chasing every trend and opinion. Or you can be deliberate, ignoring distraction and multiplying results. That's the key. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. Now, let's talk about a method to amplify this principle: energy prioritization. Every time you react to unnecessary noise, you expend mental energy. Energy lost is power lost. Protect your attention. Schedule focus blocks. Dedicate your energy to what matters most. Learn to respond selectively. Not every comment deserves a reaction. Not every opinion deserves consideration. Ignore the noise. Multiply your power silently. Another layer: long-term perspective. Noise is immediate. Results are delayed. Most people prioritize short-term attention over long-term impact. But those who ignore distraction and commit to consistent, focused action compound their results over time. Noise fades. Power remains. You have a choice. You can chase attention, or you can chase results. That's the key. Practical strategies for implementation. Daily quiet periods. Schedule blocks of uninterrupted work. Silence notifications. Close irrelevant tabs. Focus entirely on one task. Your results will soar. Selective engagement. Choose what deserves your attention. Strategic interactions, meaningful feedback, and high-value information. Everything else is noise. Ignore it. Mindfulness and reflection. Regularly assess what steals your attention unnecessarily. Remove it. Reinforce mental clarity. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. Think about it. Power is silent. Influence is quiet. Those who shout and react constantly are consumed by chaos. Those who protect their attention multiply results. That's the difference between mediocrity and mastery. You have a choice. You can be distracted, or you can be unstoppable. That's the key. Finally, Internalize this truth: the world will always have opinions. Critics will always speak. Competitors will always challenge. The noise never ends. But your power grows only when you ignore it. Protect your attention. Multiply your results. Focus relentlessly. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. You mastered deep focus. You now understand that energy and attention are your most valuable resources. You now see that reacting to noise dilutes power. And now, as we continue, it's time to let your actions create momentum, turning consistent effort into unstoppable force. You mastered ignoring distraction. Now, let's amplify your results through action. Chapter 9. Let your actions create momentum. Momentum is the silent force that separates those who achieve massively from those who drift aimlessly. It is invisible at first. A single action seems small. A single effort feels insignificant. Yet, repeated consistently, these actions build unstoppable power. That is the truth. Action compounds. Action compounds. Action compounds. That's the key. You have a choice. You can wait for inspiration. You can wait for the perfect moment. Or you can act, every single day, in small but deliberate ways. Momentum does not care about excuses. Momentum does not reward procrastination. Momentum favors action. Action compounds. Action compounds. Action compounds. Consider the world around you. Long-term investors like Warren Buffett buy and hold for decades. Small, repeated decisions, investing consistently, compound into massive wealth. The early decisions seem invisible. The results are undeniable. Marathon runners train daily, often in solitude, under harsh conditions. One run alone does not win a race. Repetition, effort, and consistency build momentum that carries them across the finish line. Creators, writers, musicians, and entrepreneurs produce content consistently. Each piece may go unnoticed at first, but over time, the body of work becomes unstoppable influence. You have a choice. You can start and stop. You can act in bursts, then quit. Or you can create consistent forward motion, turning effort into unstoppable momentum. That's the key. Momentum rewards those who persist. Momentum punishes those who hesitate. Action compounds. Action compounds. Action compounds. Let's break this down practically. Start small, but start consistently. Massive results do not require massive actions every day. They require consistent, deliberate effort. A single task completed daily stacks upon itself. You have a choice. You can delay, or you can start now. That's the key. Set clear micro-goals. Break your larger objectives into achievable, daily actions. Each micro-goal is a building block. Each completed block adds to momentum. Over time, these small steps carry you farther than occasional leaps ever could. Action compounds. Action compounds. Action compounds. Track progress quietly. Momentum grows best when you focus on the work, not the applause. Track effort, completion, and consistency. Ignore external validation. Your results will speak louder than any recognition. You have a choice. You can chase attention, or you can multiply results. That's the key. Momentum is not about speed, it is about direction. Repeated action builds a trajectory that accelerates naturally over time. Even small, disciplined steps gain power. Even minimal progress compounds. The secret is not in the effort itself, it is in the repetition. Action compounds. Action compounds. Action compounds. That's the key. Real-world examples reinforce this principle. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, emphasizes tiny, repeated actions that create compounding change. One small habit builds on the next, creating extraordinary results over years. Jeff Bezos started Amazon quietly, day after day, building systems and making incremental improvements. Each action, small alone, compounded into one of the largest companies in history. Olympic athletes train in ways that feel invisible, repetitive drills, hours of practice, refining skills daily. Their momentum carries them to gold. You have a choice. You can act sporadically, hoping for breakthroughs. Or you can build relentless momentum through steady, repeated effort. That's the key. Every single action matters. Every repetition strengthens. Every effort compounds. Action compounds. Action compounds. Action compounds. Now, consider the compounding effect in your life. Skill compounds with practice. Confidence compounds with completion. Influence compounds with consistent effort. Wealth compounds with disciplined action. Every small action is an investment in future momentum. Ignore it, and you stagnate. Commit to it, and results accelerate beyond expectation. You have a choice. You can drift with inconsistency, or you can create unstoppable force. That's the key. Practical implementation strategies. Daily repetition. Identify actions that align with your long-term goals. Commit to them daily, without fail. Momentum grows through repetition. Action compounds. Action compounds. Action compounds. Remove friction. Make it easy to start and continue. Set up systems that reduce resistance. Every barrier avoided strengthens momentum. You have a choice. You can struggle, or you can smooth your path. That's the key. Celebrate progress quietly. Recognize effort internally. Let results, not applause, motivate you. Momentum grows when you focus on work, not attention. Ignore external validation. Action compounds. Action compounds. Action compounds. Here's another truth. Momentum magnifies effort. A small, consistent habit gains energy over time. Inertia builds. Tasks become easier. Confidence grows. Resistance diminishes. The longer you maintain momentum, the stronger it becomes. You have a choice. You can stop, or you can ride the wave. That's the key. Momentum is also resilient to obstacles. Challenges appear. Distractions arise. Criticism will come. Momentum protects you. When you keep moving, setbacks do not destroy progress. They slow it slightly, but never halt it. You have a choice. You can surrender to obstacles, or you can continue building momentum. That's the key. Action compounds. Action compounds. Action compounds. Finally, internalize this. The world rewards those who act. It rewards consistency, persistence, and deliberate effort. Waiting for perfect conditions guarantees nothing. Small, repeated action compounds into results that cannot be ignored. Momentum is your silent weapon. You have a choice. You can delay, or you can act relentlessly. That's the key. Action compounds. Action compounds. Action compounds. You mastered ignoring distraction. You now understand that consistent effort multiplies results beyond imagination. You now see that momentum is built by repeated action, quiet effort, and relentless commitment. And now, as we continue, it's time to finish strong by mastering the silent mind, where calm, discipline, and unshakable focus create massive achievement. You created momentum. Now, let's talk about the ultimate power of a silent mind. Chapter 10. The Silent Mind Wins. The final chapter is about power, true, unshakable power. It is the power of a silent mind. Most people react. Most people panic. Most people let emotions dictate decisions. But the quiet mind is different. Calm. Focused. Disciplined. Unstoppable. That is the ultimate truth. Silent mind, massive achievement. Silent mind, massive achievement. That's the key. You have a choice. You can respond to every provocation. You can let your emotions control you. Or you can master your mind. You can observe, assess, and act deliberately. You don't need their permission. You don't need applause. You need control. You need clarity. You need a silent mind. Silent mind, massive achievement. Silent mind, massive achievement. Silent mind, massive achievement. Consider history's most effective leaders. Abraham Lincoln faced immense pressure and personal attacks. Yet he remained calm, focused on results, and guided a nation through chaos. His mind was silent, his decisions deliberate. Nelson Mandela endured decades of imprisonment. He emerged unshakable, using quiet mental strength to transform a nation. His power came not from anger or shouting, but from control, discipline, and patience. Mahatma Gandhi influenced millions with silent resolve. Nonviolent, composed, and relentless, he demonstrated that a quiet mind moves mountains. You have a choice. You can be reactive, emotional, and loud. Or you can be deliberate, calm, and decisive. That's the key. A silent mind does not mean inaction. It means control over response, over attention, over energy. It means making bold moves while others flail. Silent mind, massive achievement. Silent mind, massive achievement. Silent mind, massive achievement. Let's break this down practically. Master emotional control. Observe your feelings without immediately acting on them. Breathe. Reflect. Respond intentionally. Control your mind before you control the situation. You have a choice. You can react impulsively, or you can act powerfully. That's the key. Build mental routines. Daily meditation, journaling, or focused reflection strengthens your internal calm. These routines may seem small, invisible, and silent, but they compound into massive mental resilience. Silent mind, massive achievement. Silent mind, massive achievement. Silent mind, massive achievement. Prioritize thinking over talking. Most people announce every idea, every intention. Quiet minds plan, execute, and assess internally. They act without needing validation. You have a choice. You can seek attention, or you can create results quietly. That's the key. Real-world examples reinforce this principle. Elon Musk works tirelessly in focus, rarely seeking public praise for daily effort. His silent mind directs vast projects with precision. Warren Buffett rarely reacts publicly to market noise. He invests patiently, calmly, and strategically, letting results speak. Top athletes visualize, rehearse mentally, and control emotions under pressure. Quiet preparation leads to peak performance. Silent mind, massive achievement. Silent mind, massive achievement. Silent mind, massive achievement. Another layer, discipline under pressure. A silent mind thrives when challenges arise. Crisis reveals who is truly calm, who reacts, and who maintains control. Momentum can be destroyed by chaos, but the silent mind turns pressure into power. You have a choice. You can crumble, or you can thrive. That's the key. Practical strategies to cultivate a silent mind. Daily reflection. Spend 10 to 15 minutes reviewing decisions, actions, and emotional responses. This trains awareness and control. Controlled reactions. Practice delaying responses to provocation, criticism, or stress. Observe first. Respond deliberately. Focus on what matters. Ignore noise, gossip, and irrelevant drama. Protect your attention and energy. Your mind is your weapon. Silent mind, massive achievement. Silent mind, massive achievement. Silent mind, massive achievement. Here's a critical truth. A silent mind amplifies everything else you've learned. Discipline, momentum, focus, all are exponentially stronger when your mind is calm and unshakable. Chaos cannot penetrate control. Distraction cannot break clarity. Emotions cannot dictate results. You have a choice. You can let external events govern you, or you can govern yourself. That's the key. Final reinforcement. History, business, and life all reward those who act from control, not chaos. They reward those who maintain calm under pressure. They reward those who quietly, consistently, and deliberately apply effort over time. Silent mind, massive achievement. Silent mind, massive achievement. Silent mind, massive achievement. And now, internalize this ultimate lesson. Action without control is noise. Effort without discipline is wasted. Achievement without a silent mind is vulnerable. You have learned the blueprint. Stop proving and start doing. Build invisible discipline. Let results speak. Master emotions, not audiences. Avoid the trap of validation. Build habits in the shadows. Focus like a laser. Ignore the noise. Let actions create momentum. Cultivate the silent mind. Each chapter builds on the last. Each lesson compounds. And now, with a silent mind, all your previous efforts multiply. You are calm. You are disciplined. You are unshakable. You act deliberately. You achieve massively. You have a choice. You can fade into the noise, or you can rise above it. That's the key. Silent mind, massive achievement. Silent mind, massive achievement. Silent mind, massive achievement. This is your call to action. Commit to control, focus, and calm. Apply everything you've learned. Execute quietly, relentlessly, and consistently. Protect your attention. Build momentum. Master your emotions. And above all, maintain a silent mind. That is how you achieve massive, unshakable success. Now you know the truth. Noise is weakness. Seeking validation is weakness. Loud actions are weak actions. Discipline in silence is unstoppable. Focus in silence is unstoppable. Momentum in silence is unstoppable. Your results will speak, your work will shine, and the world will notice without you saying a word. Today, I challenge you, start building your silent empire. Start now. No excuses, no announcements, no waiting. Move in silence. Achieve massively. Prove it with your results, not your words.